28th. Don't forget to stop in Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials and grab the all-new Winter Season Pass. There's nowhere better to eat, drink, play, and watch than Dave & Buster's, the best place outside the stadium to see the games this football season.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And this Four Nations face-off matchup is underway, and the gloves are off. Matthew Tkachuk and Brandon Hagel. Hagel from Tampa Bay, Tkachuk from Florida. Did not see this coming.
It is hockey night in North America. The United States, Canada, tonight for the Four Nations Championship. We'll start it off with our question of the day. We just put it up on Twitter at Wildcats 1290, so head over there. Will you be watching the Four Nations Championship tonight between the United States and Canada? We've got a lot of Canadians that routinely are members of the snowbird community here in Southern Arizona. Do we really not like y'all that much that we were going to drop the gloves and fight right off the bat? Do we really not like y'all like that? I mean, y'all are our neighbors. We welcome y'all down here every year. At this time, you populate our golf courses. I know my buddy Jeff, he's a member up at the gallery, and you know he's got a bunch of the Canadian folk that he plays with every day up there. Do we really all not like y'all? Is it really like that? I mean, I don't necessarily have any Canadian friends. Do either of y'all have any Canadian friends?
None
of course, hundreds of them.
None that I can think off the top of my head.
I don't.
I've got more British friends than I do Canadian friends.
I got a friend or two from Minnesota, but I don't have any friends from Canada, so I can't personally speak to, we would want to drop the gloves and fight before we even started actually playing a hockey match.
32 years.
That's what happened in the first time these two teams messed around in this tournament. 32 years.
The last time a Canadian NHL club won the Stanley Cup was 32 years ago.
We talked
Just
about
saying.
that.
What other opportunity, Dragon Ball, do the Canadians have to
international competition?
There you go. So, I mean, obviously, we all know baseball is America's pastime. Hockey is Canada's pastime. I'm not sure that had to do with it. There was actually a little bit of animosity behind the scenes and some trash talking prior grievances. Dragon Ball is what led to those fights early.
Yes, a lot of prior
individuals who did not like each other. Yes.
No. Hagel and Tkachuk certainly do not like each other.
Right.
That's a lot of meetings over the course of their careers to this point.
Yeah, I think much more of individuals have beefs than two countries have beefs in that situation.
Okay, so that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with individual beefs more than anything else between these guys that are playing for their respective countries.
And that being said, there is a little bit of historical animosity between these two because you have to go back to 2010 in the Winter Olympics for the last time that the U.S. beat the Canadian hockey team. The problem was that was not a medal game. Guess what the medal game was? It was the gold medal where Canada won it in overtime 3-2. And since then, the U.S. hasn't come out on top of Canada since that first matchup in the Four Nations just earlier this last weekend. So this is a lot of they've been waiting for almost about 9 years or so to try and get themselves another chance at this particular team.
I mean, Canada's 14-5. that's not the wrong side. But Canada's had a lot of success versus the USA in international competition as well. America obviously wants to prove that this time around, it's theirs to lose. So, yeah, I think that there's a bit of a competitive edge, obviously, with the United States being. It's hard. I mean, Dragon Ball, who's the second best country in the world at hockey? Because I mean, it used to be Russia, and then there's obviously a lot of Swedes and whatnot. But I mean, as far as U.S., there are guys being born in the south. East of the United States, players from Arizona who are making it to the NHL. So it's stateswide, all across the U.S. are producing NHL players these days.
I mean, it's funny because the guy who dropped the mitts in that highlight we just listened to, Mr. Tkachuk, Matthew, his dad, Keith Tkachuk,
back in the day,
is a Canadian-born citizen,
right?
But his kids were born in the U.S. because this is where he played his hockey. And
he dropped the gloves back in the day in an international match.
He dropped the gloves back in the day. So my question is, what is Mr. Tkachuk, the father, the senior Tkachuk, who does he root for in this game?
Well, he's probably rooting for his sons. That's generally how this all works. These two teams played a week ago in Montreal, Canada. The Canadians got off to a 1-0 lead before the Americans came storming back.
He was terrific for Team USA against the Finns. He had 3 assists. Here's McDavid on the move. McDavid scores! And Canada leads 1-0. There are 2 players from the 2010 gold medal Canadian winning team, Sidney Crosby and Drew Doughty. There's Doughty, 89, from the LA Kings. It's McDavid in full.
So Connor McDavid got things going for the Canadians 5 minutes into the things after they put the gloves back on and actually started playing hockey. 1-0 Canada.
They weren't all in the box at that point? I mean, how's that work?
No. I think there were some people in the box, but certainly not Connor McDavid.
There were more than a few people in that box at the start of that game. 9 seconds in, and you had 3 fights. It was a slow start to this contest.
Less than 5 minutes later, the Americans would tie it up.
Back for Reinhart, tried to return to Taves, played away by Jack Eichel. Across the line, played it down low, and they score! Jake Gensel ties it for the United States on a weak goal given up by Binnington. Watch Jack Eichel's hands. He takes the puck deep into his feet, and he lays this beautiful feather pass right here, flat, so Gensel doesn't have to do anything with it. It's already flat on his stick. He catches.
So Jake Gensel would tie the game up, and then in the second period, the Americans would take the lead.
They come close a couple of times. Here's Crosby. Now it's Larkin with a burst of speed. He scores! Dylan Larkin in transition gives the United States the lead for the first time tonight. Larkin elevated in the lineup here. A few more minutes today. A turnover and a quick up by Matt Boldy. Boldy finds Larkin with Miller driving the net and occupying the back checker. Larkin makes a perfect shot.
And the final would be 3-1 United States over Canada. That would be last week when they met. They will meet again tonight in Boston, Massachusetts at the TD Gardens with face-off, or should I say the first bell will ring at 6 p.m. You can watch it on ESPN. Will you be watching it? Head on over to our Twitter account right now, Wildcats 1290. You can vote. Let us know. Are you watching this tonight? I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know this whole thing was happening until that fight broke out last week. I'm like, wait a minute, what? They're playing? This is the All-Star? This is how I didn't even know they had changed the All-Star format.
Before we get too deep into this, I just have to
NHL.
I have to say really quick, when you just said that thing about the bells, I don't know what this says about me, but I had a mental image of a ring girl holding up a 1 on skates. I don't know if that's possible,
Right?
but
Oh, no, yeah.
For this fight, I would imagine they probably would have at least a couple of some members of the, because again, it's in TD Garden. I'd imagine there's probably some staff that are going to hold up some round signs to go ahead and build up the animosity a little bit.
I hope U.S. has a good cut man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so head on over to Twitter right now, Wildcats 1290. Will you be watching the Four Nations Championship tonight between the United States and Canada? Right now, early, 83% saying yes. Let the gloves fly. Only 17% saying no, it's hockey. So the majority right now going to be watching this match tonight. It'll be, we end early tonight, so it'll be, you can go up and watch Tommy Lloyd's show with Brian Jeffries at 5 o'clock at the Union Public House, and then you can stick around. I'm sure that'll be a good place to watch it. Maybe they'll have some of the TVs set up outside, and you can watch it on the patio. Where are you going to be? If you are watching it, I'd like to know, is there a hot spot? Tell us a hot spot here in Tucson tonight where folks can go and watch this match between the United States and Canada. I want to know where the Canadians, all our Canadian brothers and sisters.
Where are all my Canadians at?
In Arizona. Where are my Canadians at? Exactly. Where are y'all going to be watching this at tonight? I wouldn't mind going and watching with the Canadians just to see kind of, see how they react to an international event like this.
Probably
I want to know where y'all are going to be watching it. So let us know. Let us know where we can go meet you tonight for a couple of pops and watch the Americans and Canadians duke it out on the
whatever
ice.
Place in town has the best gravy, right?
Gravy?
Yes.
Poutine.
Yeah.
Poutine?
Yeah.
There you go. All right. I don't know where that would be.
All I know is that I want a spot that's going to have the best sound system because I'm hoping to hear a lot of Freebird tonight because that's the thing for the Team USA. I don't know if you caught it with those two highlights, but every time Team USA scores a goal, Freebird goes
plays
up on the sound system.
All
That's the U.S. anthem for, well, not the one that the Canadians were booing before the game, but that's the U.S. anthem when they score goals in this Four Nations matchup.
Okay. We'll have much more coming up for you. We'll dive into a little bit more of that. We had Arizona women's basketball winning last night against BYU, completing the season sweep. Softball playing right now as they start their third tournament of the year here in Tucson. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
O'Reilly. Save on your next oil change at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Choose Castrol Edge Full Synthetic Motor Oil to provide maximum performance and protection for your engine. Get a $15 gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge for $34.95. Plus 2 times O Rewards points. Offer valid in-store and online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Only 29% of the Earth's surface is land, which is not a lot. So if you want to see more of the world, you have to reframe the way you travel. Embark on an expedition cruise with National Geographic Lindblad Expeditions. Learn more alongside seasoned experts sailing aboard small ships made for exploring. Don't just see the world, see it differently. National Geographic Lindblad Expeditions. Visit natgeoexpeditions.com/cruises to learn more.
Debt can really take a toll on you. Between minimum payments and interest rates, it is really stressful, and at times, it feels like you cannot get ahead. Navy Federal Credit Union understands debt is a huge stressor, and they are here to help. Navy Federal Credit Union has all the financial tools and resources that you need to dominate debt. Right now, Navy Federal Credit Union is offering a 0% intro APR on credit card balance transfers for 12 months. Plus, you can also get $250 when you spend $2,500 in your first 90 days on a Cash Rewards or Cash Rewards Plus credit card. Don't let debt drag you down. Visit NavyFederal.org to start dominating debt today. Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. After the intro rate expires, variable APRs are 15.15% to 18% based on credit worthiness. Rates are subject to change. ATM fees for cash advances are up to $1 at non-Navy Federal ATMs.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Lowe's knows how to help you get the most out of your store run. That's why members save more with My Lowe's Rewards. Earn points towards My Lowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts. Plus, unlock free standard shipping when you reach Silver Key status. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Crash at Grant and Oracle and Grant Road. Closure downtown 6th Avenue underpass closes weekdays between Toole Avenue and 7th Street, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. through mid-March for prepping and painting work. 47 the overnight low, sunny, 76 tomorrow and 76 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
We are your home for all things Arizona basketball. 3 hours of pregame.
They're not going to finish the season 19-1, guys.
2 hours of postgame.
I guarantee you, Coach told the guys don't come over and help on him.
And all the action in between. Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Four Nations Championship tonight, Canada versus the United States. I want to know where our Canadian brethren, where are you watching the game tonight? I want to come watch with you. I want to see what it's like to watch an international square-off between the U.S. and Canada in hockey with our friends from above the border. So let us know where you're watching the game tonight. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. It's interesting, guys, because there's been a lot of talk, obviously, about this event and how the NHL put this together in the light that, obviously, the NHL and NBA have their All-Star weekends pretty much around the same time. I've actually said for years that I thought that if the NBA wanted to change up the way that they do the All-Star game, it would be to pit the Americans against international players. I've said that forever. I don't know why all of a sudden, this is the hockey folks finally did it. I thought the NBA should have done that a long time ago, especially after the boon of international players coming into this thing. Because again, you get people and I know it's like it would be slightly different because I don't know if you could have one country, although heck, you could probably just make France. I mean, we got so many French players now in the NBA. You could probably make France a team. But yeah, even if you just did Europe versus the USA, I think a lot of people would sign up to watch that on NBA All-Star Weekend. Do you guys disagree or agree with that?
I mean, they kind of went ahead with that idea during the All-Star weekend this year with the international players versus the OGs, which again, but a lot of that was also based on, captain selections and things like that. They've tried to do a lot to bring back an excitement to the All-Star game. And I think that doing the international versus the U.S.-born players would be interesting. However, there's a lot of people that now have the dual citizenship thing, so now you wonder who would they exactly play for.
The biggest problem is the best player in the world, his name is Nikola Jokic, in case you didn't know. He doesn't care. He doesn't play hard unless it's for a championship. He is the prime person. If you actually listen to what he says and watch him out there on the court, especially for any kind of all-star situation, slowly jogging. So what you really want to see, DK, is a Game 7 NBA Finals level of intensity of international players versus American players, or some combination of that for the all-star break. But those guys don't want to bring that level of intensity. And especially, and I'm not trying to call out just the international players, because there's plenty of American players who also are giving minimal effort in those games. It's tough. I mean, like we said the other day, how do you fix a problem? Because it's based on the fan interest. People want to see the world's greatest players do fun things, but they also want to be competitive. And that balance, it's like and one street ball, but the score matters. So, yeah, it's tough.
But outside of doing something drastic like Major League Baseball did, where it's, the All-Star Game victory will determine home field advantage in the World Series, where that may not even be a thing that any of the players playing will have any kind of real impact on, where a guy that's got on the All-Star roster and his team only has, 50 wins at the All-Star break, or 32 wins at the All-Star break. What does he care? His team's not going to the postseason at that rate. So why make it something more grandiose for guys that may not have any fighting interest in that in the first place?
Speaking of the NBA, should we tell the listeners what happened today? So really sad news out today from San Antonio. Last year's Rookie of the Year and the favorite to win the Defensive Player of the Year this year. He was a landslide favorite. One, Victor Wembanyama, has been shut down for the remainder of the season. A blood clot issue in his shoulder. The good news is there's a couple of players in the NBA in recent history who've had a similar. Brandon Ingram, I know, is one of them, and one of the Star twins, like one of those two guys as well, had a blood clot issue, and they were back within 5-6 months. But he's been shut down, they say, for indefinitely.
And the thing about that is, again, we've seen a lot of recent players have those clots and be able to come back and play relatively, similar to what they did prior to the diagnosis. The problem is that everybody in the back of their mind is immediately thinking of one guy in particular, and that being Chris Bosh, who got the blood clots as well. He had a much more serious issue with it, where it was just a congenitive issue that kept coming back up and up and up, where the pulmonary concerns were the next thing for him. So everyone's thinking, okay, this could just be a quick shutdown and he'll be back ready to go in October. But everybody in the back of their mind is thinking, okay, if this shows up again, now we need to have a conversation of, do the Spurs have a long-term star versus just a short-term phenom?
And that's what they said. Like, the official news coming out is that their confidence is short-term thing.
Yeah.
So that's the deal. I mean, I always think of Hank Gathers. I know that wasn't a similar situation, but I lived through that, DK. I mean, you were there, front row seats or whatever, because I know he came out of the USC program over to Loyola Marymount. But I must have been a sophomore or junior in high school when that all went down, and we were all basketball fanatics. And watching that, the story leading up to it, him and Bo Kimball. So any kind of issues with, your circulation and things like that, it's very serious. So we just wish nothing but the best, because Victor Wembanyama, for all intents and purposes, is the future of the NBA. I mean, he could very well, if he has a healthy career, be the greatest player of all time. That's the level of skill. His measurables have never been seen before. So, he's only 20, got a long career ahead of him. Again, if you haven't seen the new Netflix documentary, what's it called? Gold? I'd have to look it up. But there's a new Netflix
Court of Gold.
Court of Gold. Thank you. 6-part documentary about the Olympics from last year, and it follows the French, Serbs, the Canadians, and the Americans. And Wembanyama is in that quite a bit. So yeah, highly recommend.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're going to chat with Brian Jeffries on the show today, the voice of the Wildcats. Arizona BYU coming up this weekend at McHale Center. That'll be an 8 o'clock start, 8 o'clock tip-off on Saturday night. And we're also going to talk to Louis Pablo Navarro, one of the pitchers over at Pima College. He is just been named the ACCAC Pitcher of the Week. We'll talk to him. He's out of Walden Grove High School, and we'll get his thoughts on the start of the junior college baseball season here in Southern Arizona. 520, again, 848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We'll also have our BetMGM Network Top Play for you coming up a little bit later as well. And let us know where you are watching the hockey game tonight, or if you're even going to watch the hockey game tonight. You can get in on our poll, Wildcats 1290. That's our Twitter account right now. This is a shorty poll just because face-off is coming up at 6 o'clock. So you've only got until 6 o'clock to vote in our poll. Right now, 86%. Looks like we maybe had another no vote. 86% of you, actually maybe that was another yes vote. 86% yes saying yes, they're going to watch the Four Nations Championship tonight. Right now, only 14% of you saying no, you will not.
What's the over-under on fights, I wonder?
That's a good question.
Trying to look it up.
Apparently, this has been a well-bet event. They're expecting a lot of money on this event tonight in Boston, Massachusetts. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well coming up. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
February means Valentine's Day, but we're always spreading the love at Oral Ford. Hi, it's Alex Medina. What's not to love about paying 2% lower taxes only at Oral Ford? Then there's zero dealer add-ons at Oral Ford. Love that. And everyone loves this. I'll beat any price on a new Ford. So look, we don't use the same old rule book at Oral Ford. We sell cars from the heart. That's how we always do business. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson to Oral Ford. You're going to love it. Drive a little, save a lot.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Wildcat fans, Taco Bell is a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and is ready to serve you. We're open for breakfast. Fire up your mornings with breakfast at Taco Bell. You've heard about Happy Hour? Well, try Happier Hour at your local Taco Bell for $1 beverages. From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., choose any regular freezes or medium drink for $1. It's the happiest time of the day. Taco Bell is locally owned and operated and is looking forward to serving Wildcat fans. Stay safe, bear down, and live Moss.
Tucson, it's time for the Color Guard Classic by Exact Sciences, March 7th through the 9th at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. See some of golf's greatest players compete for the coveted Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. It's PGA Tour Champions Golf at its finest. Let's kick it! And Friday night, see the I Love the 90s Tour featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, and Tone Loc live in concert at Rillito Park. The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences benefiting colorectal cancer awareness and youth sports. Tickets and more at cologuardclassic.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Great. Thanks, William. Good meeting.
What about me? Who said that? Me.
Gary, I can hear you, but...
Where are you?
Guys, I'm right here. You can't see me because I'm being transparent.
You're being transparent?
Yep, and we should do it company-wide, starting with how much it costs to get a Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
This is freaking me out.
Other places don't put payments on their websites. Know why?
Too much trouble?
Embarrassed?
They want to get in your house and twist your arm?
Could be any of those. Could be none of them. But like polar bear fur, we're transparent.
So people can go to AlaskanAC.com and get an instant payment?
You got it. Now you're being transparent.
Hey, I'm fading away.
I like it. Nothing hidden. Just an honest instant payment on their new Grizzly from AlaskanAC.com. Whoa, now I'm becoming transparent.
Doesn't it feel good?
We're all transparent.
And good thing, that shirt Ron was wearing was ugly.
I'm still here. Get a transparent payment on a new Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
O'Reilly. Shop Superstart Premium, Extreme, or Platinum batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts and get up to a $15 gift card after rebate. O-Reward members can also get a $5 reward with their battery purchase. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Superstart. Only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Softball should not be played in February, period. Like, February is not spring. And to expect 3/4 of the country to all go to do what we just did and play 11 games in 9 days, to come home and not be able to go outside, to then go and play against 3 top 25 teams, to not ever practice on dirt, like, it'd be like a hockey team never practicing on ice. Like, that's unheard of. Or our basketball team never bouncing a ball on a court and then expecting them to go play the number 5 team in the country. So if we can move the season back and start in March, now you're having the safety and the welfare of the student athletes at the forefront to play in an environment and an atmosphere that's conducive for our sport. Like, there's a reason why Major League Baseball spring training hasn't started yet. And then they don't start playing games until April. Like, we got to speed that up. I don't have control over those things. That's way above my pay grade. So all I can focus on is what we do at practice today, and that's going to be the intensity, pay attention to the little things, pay attention to the details, make all the routine plays, and do so in the way we know we can do.
Larissa Anderson, she is the head softball coach at the University of Missouri, coming out and saying that why are we playing these games and there's snow on the ground out on my softball field. I can't even get my team to practice outside, and then I got to go to Florida for 2 weeks and play games. And the first time my girls are stepping on dirt is the day before an actual contest. We talked a bit about that yesterday. Had some responses to that, those comments from Larissa Anderson. Our guy Danny checks in. Danny says, maybe Larissa Anderson should get a better coaching job.
Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired in the general direction of Missouri, right? That's not about her. That's about the state.
That's Desiree Reed-Francois, former head coach.
Right.
She actually extended her contract while she was the leader there. Our guy, Paul in Phoenix, says he directs this one directly to you, J-Dub. He says, J-Dub, aren't you concerned about me sitting out in the heat for those first 3 September football games that we will have this year while you're sitting in a nice air-conditioned studio?
I'm always worried about you. Always. One thing we didn't talk about, guys, is so the World Series is early June, right?
The College World Series.
World Series for NCAA softball.
Softball, yeah.
Yeah, the finals are in June. So what I'm trying to get at is it would be the first or second week of July would be when the season would end.
Well, and that's after the fiscal, so you got to, and everything's got to be done by June 30th.
Exactly. So the idea of this pushing the start to March pushes the end, unless you want to play, 2 series in a week.
You would have to shorten the schedule. I mean, you couldn't play, I think the regular season is like 50-something games. You would have to shorten the schedule. I mean, you would have to shorten it maybe down to, and I don't know. I don't know.
To
like,
June 6th.
Whose idea was it that you had to play whatever it is, 54 games? I mean,
whose idea was it to play 162 games?
Well, that's major leagues. That's the major leagues. I mean, we're talking about college. I mean, college baseball and college softball have long seasons. Do they need? I guess ultimately the question is, and we're coming into this new era of money, is do these seasons need to be this long? Does softball need to play 54 games?
How am I going to know whether or not Long Beach State belongs in the
Could they play 40
Series
games and slice it down 15 games and start this season later? Do we need to play all these games for baseball and softball? It's been that way since I got here, so I don't really know when it jumped to. And we'll have to go back and look at the old roster, the old numbers and schedules. But, when did it jump to the 50s?
The good news is, 5 years from now, there's only going to be 2 conferences. So Arizona and Missouri won't have to worry about it because they won't be eligible for the title, right? Because it's just going to be Big Ten and SEC.
Quite possible.
And DK, I need the schedule for baseball and softball to be this long because otherwise, how am I going to know if Northern Kentucky and Western Michigan and, of course, the LIUs of the world belong in Omaha for these regional tournaments? How am I going to know if those teams belong or not without super long seasons?
I don't know how you know now with them playing 54 games.
I would imagine Long Island University is pretty cold.
Yes.
This time of year as well.
That and Penn University are probably freezing.
All right. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Earlier collision, Grant and Oracle and Grant Road, and also widening work, a 6-lane widening project on Valencia, east of Kolb Road to west of Houghton, completion expected mid-2026. In clear skies, 47, the overnight low, sunny, 76 tomorrow, and a 76 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Get matched to your perfect bed now and sleep at night. Plus, if you see a lower price, they'll match it. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm to upgrade today. Restrictions apply.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Arizona softball is on the field tonight to open up the Hillenbrand Invitational. What a weekend it was for one Miranda Stoddard.
This one's lifted to left field to the wall. It is gone, clearing the left field fence. A 3-run shot, another home run for Miranda Stoddard.
That's our guy again, Jeff Bowe, with the call there. 6 home runs for Miranda Stoddard last weekend at the Bear Down Fiesta. She was not only the Big 12 Player of the Week, she was the National Player of the Week last week. .833 batting average, 10 for 12 in 5 games with 6 home runs, including 2 games that she hit a pair of home runs. The National Slugger of Louisville Slugger NFCA Player of the Week, Miranda Stoddard. Pretty impressive.
I don't know what kind of water they got up there in Nebraska, DK, but she is 2 behind the nation's leader, Ava Kursak, who has 8 in 10 games.
Yeah, and I don't think Miranda had ever hit a home run before last weekend.
I had to look it up because, I thought for sure she had to be right at the top. She's tied for 3rd.
12 RBI, 10 hits total, we mentioned, 10 of 12. Wildcats swept that tournament 5-0. It's going to be tougher to do that this weekend. They'll play number 20 Stanford twice. They'll also take on number 1 Texas. They'll open up play tonight. They've got a doubleheader this evening over at Hillenbrand Stadium. They'll play UC Davis to open. That'll be at 5 o'clock, and then they'll take on Stanford at 7 o'clock tonight. So 2 games coming up tonight over at Hillenbrand Stadium if you want to get out and support the ladies as they open up their 3rd tournament of the year. And then they'll actually go out on the road after playing their first 20 or so games here at home. They'll head out to a tournament in California for next week.
No frozen dirt out there.
No, but that's cool, though. They get to, I think they're playing... I think they're at the Mary Nutter tournament, which is the one where they play. All the fields are named after big league. Actually, I'm sorry, it's the Judy. They're playing at the Judy Garment Classic, so that's a different tournament. But the Mary Nutter Classic is the one that's in Palm Springs, and they play at that complex where those fields are called like Wrigley Field,
Right.
and Yankee Stadium, and all of that. It's really, really cool. But they'll be out at the Judy Garman Classic, which is at Cal State Fullerton, where they'll have 5 games out there against Weber State. They'll play Cal State Fullerton again. Notre Dame, they'll see out there. UCLA, this will be the only meeting with UCLA, and then San Diego State. That'll be the 5 games they play out there next weekend. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Appreciate everybody that texted in. We had a text question about the new competitive pricing that we spoke about with Desiree Reed-Francois. We will get to that as well coming up a little bit later in our show, and I'll go down to all the numbers in case you missed that conversation yesterday. When we come back, though, we're going to talk some Puma baseball. Puma baseball off to a pretty good start to their junior college season. DK on the Sports Tip, you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our beautiful Arizona winter weather brings cooler overnight temperatures, which means some of you are now seeing your vehicle's low pressure warning light. Colder overnight temperatures can lower your tire's pressure just enough to trigger a warning light. But don't worry, many times the solution is simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. Then get back to enjoying the fantastic winter weather. If adding the air doesn't do the trick, stop by any of our 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with the low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Mention this radio offer for free installation with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. We'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tires absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get your car road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-214-1515. That's 800-214-1515. 800-214-1515.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
7-7 bottom of the ninth. Wildcats would love to end it right here.
As the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
2-2, and it's lined to left for a base hit. Bryfogel's going to be waved around third. Here comes the throw from Hartman. It's headed home. He slides. He's safe, and the Wildcats have won it. Mikalakis, RBI single.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
Smart solutions to eliminate bugs, bees, and weeds this spring.
Science nerds, choose Essential.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
He's kind and he's funny and he's also mustachioed. He solves all your problems by the end of every episode. TV Dad. Everyone loves TV Dad. TV Dad. Unlike your real dad, he never hollers. And he tells you how Progressive can save you lots of dollars.
Listen to your TV Dad. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Spring sports have started up on West Anklam Road. Pima baseball and Pima softball. The fellas are 15-3 to start this season. They are 5-3 so far in the ACC-AC. They've won their last 3 in a row. Gateway and a sweep on Tuesday of Scottsdale Community College. Pleased to be joined by the reigning pitcher of the week in the ACC-AC. Joins us right now out of Walden Grove High School, Luis Pablo Navarro. Luis, appreciate an opportunity to chat with you a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you for having me right now.
All right. So Pima College, why was Pima the right spot to start your college career coming out of Walden Grove?
I think Pima Community College has a very good spotlight for the next level. And I really like the coaching staff here, the pitching, all the coaching staff. And it's just a really good team we got this year.
You've got some, obviously you mentioned the coaching staff, and you've got some coaches on that staff that have some big league time. Was that something that was important for you when you were looking for a school? I mean, I don't know how many other schools came at you with the opportunity to learn from guys that have pitched in the big leagues, but how important was that to you?
No, yeah, very, very important, especially for the experience they have and knowing what to throw at what time, and that's very big for coming to this school.
Now, you obviously came out of Walden Grove High School. Did you grow up in Sahuarita? Tell us, when did you start playing baseball, and how did you kind of grow as a player coming up down south of Tucson?
Oh, yeah, I grew up in Amado, Arizona, south of Sahuarita.
Okay.
And I started playing ball since I was a little kid, since 5 years old. My dad used to say I was born with a bat in my hand, so that was pretty nice. And my dad just pushed me and kept it going.
Now, did he play?
Yes, he did. He played some college ball. He played at spring training for a little bit. Yeah, and he was a shortstop, so.
Now, how about you? Have you played other positions besides pitching growing up?
Yeah, I used to play center field, right field, first base.
When did you kind of get the feeling, though, that pitching was going to probably be maybe the avenue for you to succeed in this game?
Oh, yeah, since I was a little kid, I've been a pitcher, a left-handed pitcher, and my dad always used to tell me that I have a natural arm. And throughout high school, I just knew I was going to be a pitcher in the next level.
Luis Pablo Navarro is joining us, freshman left-handed pitcher for the Pima Aztecs. Again, Aztecs off to a 15-3 start. Got a couple of 4 starts so far this year. Luis, and 4 victories with a 2.25 ERA. So things obviously have gone well for you the first 4 starts. How happy are you when you go back and you review your games? How happy are you about the way things have gone through the beginning of the season?
No, it's very, very happy to me that I get to show up out there and just be who I am, and it's just a really, really nice feeling.
Who are you out there on the mound? What's your repertoire? How are you trying to attack hitters?
Honestly, I don't care who's up on the plate. I just throw what I need to throw and just come after him.
Fastball, slider. What other? Those your 2 primaries? What other pitches are you throwing down there?
Fastball, slider, changeup, and a curveball here and there. But fastball, changeup, slider are my main things. I really, really love throwing them.
What are you clocking right now with the fastball?
87, 88, couple 89s.
So when you were coming out of high school, obviously not maybe throwing 90, did you feel like, did you get any Division I looks? Did you feel like maybe I need to go to JC and kind of maybe, work on my arm strength and maybe add a few more, I guess, what do the kids say now? Add a little bit more velo to the fastball?
Yeah. My junior year, I was actually committed to New Mexico State, and a bunch of things got mixed around, and Coach Kizuni got moved to Hawaii, and everything just got mixed around. So I kept looking for schools, and I think this one was the right fit for JUCO to get that velo up and get stronger.
Luis Pablo Navarro is our guest. He is the reigning pitcher of the week in the ACCAC, off to a 4-0 start on the bump for the Pima Aztecs. I noticed in your team picture, Luis, you've got a couple of different necklaces that you wear around your neck. One looks like it has a ring on it. Is there any significance to that?
No, not really. I don't wear the rings on my hand, and that ring actually my girlfriend got it for me, and so I just put it on my necklace, and I just rolled with that.
All right, she got your little ring there. Is she an athlete at all? Does she play anything?
Yeah, she plays volleyball.
Okay, outstanding.
She's really good. She's a lib.
Libero?
Yeah.
Outstanding. All right. Got a little athletic girlfriend there as well. So what do you think of this team that you guys got? What do you like about it early in the season through these first 18 games? What are you guys doing well?
This team is very special. We got a lot of talent, especially hitters. Pitching, we got a really good pitching staff. Our hitting has been dominant. Our pitching has been dominant too. Just some rough games here and there, but I feel like we're going to push through and hit the playoff spot.
There you go. Now, in terms, you mentioned, obviously, you initially were looking at New Mexico State. Do you anticipate that you'll play 2 years at junior college? Are you looking potentially maybe to make that jump after your first year? How do you think that'll play out?
Honestly, I would just go with the flow, man. My goal from when I came here was to leave after 1 year, and I'm still on that goal, and we'll see where this plays out.
There you go. Well, you're off to a good start, my brother. 4 starts, 4 wins, 27 strikeouts so far in 20 innings pitched. So obviously you're striking them out at well over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Have you always been a strikeout kind of pitcher?
Yeah. In high school, I would always strike out. I want to go in for that strikeout, but if they get some contact, hopefully some weak contact, but always going in for that strikeout.
You also hit 406 in high school, though. They let you pick up the bat at all over there at Pima yet?
No. How come he actually told me? He actually was messing around with me during the fall. He said, "I would let you hit, but you don't have your cleats on."
Yeah, that's right. Because you pitchers, you guys just wear the flat shoes when you're out there working. You guys don't wear the cleats out at practice.
No.
Well, wait. Put your cleats on, Luis. Maybe he'll give you a couple. Maybe maybe he'll call you up as a pinch hitter at some point.
I actually was already ready. I got one of the hitters, the lefty hitters. I got their elbow guard and their ankle guard, and I put it on, ready to hit. But Hawk told me I didn't have my cleats on, so
oh boy,
I was already ready to go.
You have a favorite pitcher that you love to watch?
I have a lot of favorite pitchers, but me and my dad always watched Fernando Valenzuela from the Dodgers.
There you go.
Yeah, he was a dominant pitcher, man.
The late great. Did your dad ever get a chance to see him pitch live?
No, I don't think he did.
Well, that is a great role model to have for sure. Still sad that we lost Fernando right around World Series time last fall.
Yeah.
Hey, Luis, continued success. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Keep working towards that goal to get into the next level.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Luis?
And
go ahead. You want to make a shout out real quick?
Oh, yeah. I just want to shout out to my whole family for being there for me. My dad, my mom, my sisters, always being mean to me here and there. But I still love them.
Are you the little brother?
Yeah, I'm the little brother, so I get bullied around. But everyone, my grandparents, my grandma, everyone that's been around me while in this journey. But that's it, man.
Awesome. All right, Luis, we'll talk to you again down the road.
Thank you.
Luis Pablo Navarro, left-handed freshman pitcher for the Pima Aztecs. He is 4-0 to start the season, 2.25 ERA. He is the ACC Pitcher of the Week, just announced today. All right, DK on the sports tip. Dragon Ball is here. He's got everything happening in sports in Southern Arizona as well as around the world.
Well, a good start for Arizona women's basketball team in their final stretch run of games. They managed to come away with a win over BYU despite a slow start to the second half. Now, just a game under 500 in conference play. Adia Barnes says her squad still has one key thing that they need to work on if they hope to be a tournament team this year.
Yeah, I think, just when we have a cushion at halftime, I think the part of us getting to that next level and being a tournament team is being able to put people away and keep the pedal to the metal when we have momentum going into halftime. But the momentum started with the mistake, the overhelp at the end of the second quarter that led to a 3. So then you go into halftime, they have momentum. So those are the little things. So then you have to be really on point the first couple minutes in the second half, and then we weren't. So those are the areas we have to grow in.
Again, with the good start that they had with BYU, the Cats hope to go ahead and build on their next 4 out status right now, according to bracketology, as they make a trip out to Houston on Saturday. And after the NBA returned last night, the Suns get their turn back on the hardwood following the All-Star break. It's sitting just a game and a half out of the play-in tournament's final slot right now. Kevin Durant and company look to go ahead and get a good start to their second half of the season with a win against the Spurs. And speaking of the Spurs, we mentioned it earlier, but when those two sides tip off 7:30 tonight, the Spurs will be without star center Victor Wembanyama. He will no longer be suiting for the team after they discover that he had a blood clot in his shoulder. The Spurs will be losing out their top defender with his 11 rebounds per game, as well as another strong season with his blocks. The Spurs are also without Greg Popovich after he suffered a mild stroke in November, still sitting behind the Suns as well, and a crowded play-in tournament race. And I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 update.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Grant Road and Alvernon Way, roadwork and a stalled vehicle at Alvernon and Grant, some slowing at the intersection. Collisions Grant Road and Oracle, and also Houghton and Old Spanish Trail. 47 the overnight low, sunny, 76 tomorrow and a 76 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
We're only a few weeks away from the madness, so let's look at some college hoops. Chris Mack here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Tonight we target Southeast Missouri State to cover. 11-point home favorite against Western Illinois. Redhawks have covered in 7 of their last 10 and crushed the Leathernecks by 21 in Illinois as 3-point favorites earlier this season. Southeast Missouri has the tools to sweep the season series with another big win. I'm Chris Mack from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the MGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Oro Ford is the fastest growing Ford dealership in Arizona. Hi, it's Alex Medina. There's no secret. It's simple. Here's how I do it. 1, no pesky dealer add-ons to drive up the price. 2, I'll beat any price on a new Ford. And 3, you pay 2% lower taxes only at Oro Ford, saving you thousands of dollars right off the top. Thank you, Tucson, for making Oro Ford the fastest growing Ford dealership in Arizona. Take the easy drive to Oro Ford.
Premium, by definition, a product of superior quality and therefore a higher price. SweetDeals.com's new Premium tab is here to break all the rules. Premium products without the extra cost. Designer handbags, luxury cruises, autographed sports memorabilia, gift cards to your favorite eateries, stores, and more. Priced up to 70% off. Premium just got affordable to all. Shop, score, save. Up to 70% off. SweetDeals.com. Click on the Premium tab and reward yourself today.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
We are your home for all things Arizona basketball. 3 hours of pregame.
They're not going to finish the season 19-1, guys.
2 hours of postgame.
I guarantee you, Coach told the guys don't come over and help on him.
And all the action in between. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
In a giant pool of business competitors, don't be the one left unseen and out of reach. If you're a business owner and need help with your online presence, let's make it happen. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Boost your website. Boost your findability. Boost your reputation. Boost your business.
Marco?
Yes, I'm Marco.
Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Contact us today at cumulusboost.com.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Tucson, it's time for the Color Guard Classic by Exact Sciences, March 7th through the 9th at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. See some of golf's greatest players compete for the coveted Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. It's PGA Tour Champions golf at its finest. And Saturday night, Under the Stars, see Co Wetzel live in concert at Rieto Park. The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences, benefiting colorectal cancer awareness and youth sports. Tickets and more at cologuardclassic.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station, your home for the National Football League, starting with the Hall of Fame game through the regular season into the playoffs and ending in the Super Bowl. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
For Lewis into the lane. Ball knocked away. Loose. And it's going to go out of bounds. Right into us.
Right into your lap, Brian.
It's the Wildcat Hour, which means it's time for our Arizona Insiders. Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions of U of A football, basketball, and the Big 12. So bear down, Wildcat Nation, and let's talk Arizona football basketball. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light, choose chill.
All right, Brian Jeffries joins us in one piece after his encounter down in Waco, Texas on Monday night. Brian, you've been doing this 37 years, so how many times is that now that somebody has come crashing in to your position at the scores table?
Oh, probably about 3 or 4, I'm guessing. Not more than that, but I will say it's the first time a guy who's 6'7", 245 pounds ever came over the table. So that's a little bit different. You know, I've had our own players come over the table, but it always seems to be a guard who, you know, probably weighs, 180, 190, and I can handle that. I'm not too good at Norchad Omer at 6'7", 245.
So from a broadcast standpoint, I mean, you got to kind of make sure the equipment and you're still on the air. How do you kind of try to manage all that at when that's happening?
Well, it happens so fast. You don't remember a lot of things. I know that everything. A lot of stuff went on the floor. No equipment, but. And then the great thing was that the Baylor students sit right behind us there at Foster Pavilion. And I had a couple students helping me. They were picking up the papers. They were asking me if I was okay. And so we got that. Kyle, our engineer, had a towel and was wiping off the equipment, my scorebook and a few things, because there were a couple water bottles sitting there. And when Omer hit that, they kind of sprayed all over the place. But that's no big deal. So. Yeah, you just you got to keep going. They're not going to stop the game for you. I don't even remember when Omer got up. I mean, I was doing other things trying to get ourselves put back together, and I didn't even notice when, how he got off the table or anything.
So, and obviously you've done baseball. I think you probably had you've had foul balls hit into the booth before. Have you ever caught one of those? I know that that's a trend nowadays to see baseball broadcasters catching foul balls into the booth.
Yeah, I wouldn't be that brave because depending how fast they're coming, they can break a finger or a hand.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I would just as soon dodge. Yeah, I've had them come into the booth, but I always go the opposite way. I'll let it, go off the wall or the door or whatever, and I'll pick it up later.
Brian Jeffries is the voice of the Wildcats. He is joining us. Brian, you mentioned obviously first trip to Foster Pavilion. Students sitting behind usually the students are kind of in the end zones at a lot of these places. What was that experience like to kind of have them right behind you guys and the Wildcat bench? How did the team deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, we've had that other places. It kind of depends on the behavior of the fans, and they were very nice. I tell you what, one thing you try and do when you get into that situation is immediately make friends with the people sitting right behind you, because if you're nice to them, they're probably going to be nice to you. And so I've always made it a point that whenever we have visiting fans or students or whoever's sitting behind us, I always want to, talk to them before the ball game, ask them how everything's doing, tell them how much I like their arena, and you make friends with them, and then chances are, they're going to be nice to you. And that, like I said, that was the case there. I had a couple of students trying to help me after Omer went over the table, and they were they were loud, but they were very pleasant other than that.
Brian Jeffries is our Arizona Insider for today, brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light, choose chill. A lot of people are asking, Brian, with the way that the Wildcats have really turned it up at the defensive end of the floor, and we've obviously seen the emergence of Caleb Love and what he's been able to do at that end of the floor as well. If this is the best defensive team that Tommy Lloyd has had in his 4 years here at the University of Arizona, how are you seeing this defense, and how does it look different than maybe some of the other ones the last few years under Tommy?
Well, I think first things, David, is as we all know, the Big 12 is a very physical conference. And so I think Arizona knew going into the season. I remember some of the first workouts watching the team back in October. I could see right there that the coaching staff made sure the guys understood that they had to play a physical brand of defense if they wanted to survive in this conference, and I think they've done exactly that. I mean, Tommy's first team was still, I think, his best defensive team, but this one is, I think, getting to that point right now because they've learned how to be more physical without fouling, and I think that's a really important thing. You don't want to give the other team free shots. And you mentioned Caleb Love. I mean, his defense has come a long ways. Anthony Del Orso now, I think just in the last couple of weeks, has stepped up his defense. And the other guys, I mean, KJ Lewis, I would not wish to be guarded by him no matter who I am because he will absolutely, be as physical with you as possible. And by the way, he's going to be our guest on the Coaches Show coming up at 5 o'clock hour today. So it'll be fun to talk to him about exactly that because I love looking at his stat line sometimes because, he'll score double figures. He'll give you 7 or 8 rebounds. He'll give you assists, steals, block shots. He does it all. And, those are the type of guys you really value.
Yeah, there's no question about that. It's one of the things we've talked about. He just does so many different things well for this Arizona Wildcats ball club, just a sophomore in KJ Lewis. Brian Jeffries is joining us, the voice of the Wildcats, BYU, coming into town on Saturday. Arizona with a chance to get a sweep, having won in Provo just a few weeks ago. What kind of stood out from that team, BYU, that you saw there? Obviously, Igor Denman. Denman is one of the top prospects coming out of this conference. We were talking a little bit mock draft yesterday, and he is definitely a guy that's in the top 10. What impressed you about what you saw from him?
Yeah, the NBA scouts that were there in Provo, I mean, they came to see several people, but he was probably tops on their list. And you can just see that, he's got NBA written all over him, just the way he handles himself on the court, handles the ball extremely well. Offensively, I think he's going to be he's good now. I think he's going to be really good in that department. BYU as a whole, I mean, they love to shoot three-pointers. And you saw what they did to Kansas, the other day. And I think they put up 36 threes in that game, and that's what they're going to do. That's how they have kind of gotten to where they are right now, and a lot of that is from Kevin Young, the head coach in his first year. He's got an NBA background, and that's what they love to do. And it's kind of interesting if you look at their fast break totals. They don't rank near Arizona in terms of their fast breaks, but they do get the ball down court in a hurry, and a lot of it's just with their long passes, et cetera. And then they look for that three-point shot, and they are not afraid to take them, and they make enough of them. I think that's kind of the scary thing. The thing that helped the Wildcats up in Provo was that Arizona played good perimeter defense, and let's be honest, even Tommy mentioned it after the ball game. I mean, BYU just missed some threes in that game. They went. I can't remember what their stat was, but they did not shoot well from three-point range. And if you take a look at, I just got the report here today, if you take a look at BYU in its losses this year versus their wins, a lot of it you could really trace to their three-point shooting because in their 8 losses, they shoot 30% from three. In their 18 wins, they shoot 39%. And so that tells you right there that that can be the difference maker for a team like that puts up a ton of threes. And the Wildcats are going to have to be certainly on point defensively to keep them from hitting their average.
Yeah, I think 10 for 34 was what BYU was in that game up in Provo. And it's just kind of speaking about three-pointers and where the Wildcats are offensively there. In that respect, I mean, Tommy obviously came out at after the game the other night and said, "Hey, look, this is we're not the best three-point shooting team. The stats you guys have talked about it on the broadcast. I think Ryan said, "Hey, this right now is on pace to be the worst three-point shooting team in program history." But do they need to? I mean, is that going to be a bugaboo when you get to the postseason? I mean, I've said I think there are going to be games when they get there that they're going to have to make three-point shots. In order to win. Do you think they can go deep playing and not being able to shoot threes?
Well, you got to keep other teams honest. But I think maybe the best example to me was just the last game down at Baylor, where Baylor came out in that 1-3-1 zone and more or less dared the Wildcats to shoot threes. And so what did Arizona do? Well, they dissected the zone. They found guys inside. They hit twos. I mean, Del Orso, who instead of settling for threes, found that hole in the zone, Vasar, et cetera. And then, that forced, Scott Drew to abandon the zone because Arizona was too effective against it. So now when you get down the road here, and to your point, David, when you see a team comes in and says, okay, Arizona's not a good three-point shooting team, so we're going to zone them and just dare them to shoot from outside. Well, if the Wildcats can play zone offense like they did against Baylor, then it's not going to be that big of a factor. But I do believe you've got to be able to make your share. You cannot go into a game not being able to hit threes. And Arizona's had, they made 4 at Baylor. They only took 18 shots, which I think was probably the best news of all. And so to me, that's kind of it. Is you limit the number of threes that you take, and you hope you make enough of them, again, to keep other teams honest. And Arizona's got guys we know can make threes. Caleb can make threes. Jaden Bradley, Del Orso, Carter Bryant, Henry Vaso. You could go down the list. All those guys are capable of it. And I think that's the important thing. Just make sure that you make enough that teams can't scheme against it.
Yeah, you were talking about Anthony Del Orso, and I know Tommy had come out a few weeks ago and said that, he doesn't really need Della to be a playmaker and that kind of thing. His job is to give them length and shoot the ball. But I like the way he operates around the rim. And I talked about the other night. I said, no one can deflect the defender from the ball, especially on a drive, and keep it from getting blocked, I think, better than Anthony Del Orso. He just has that skill about knowing where the defender is, knowing how to protect the ball, and get it to the rim in a position where the defender can't get a play on it. And I like that about him.
Well, he's learning. When he played at Campbell for a couple of years, I think you take a look at the difference in the level of play. And I think he's had a lot to learn. And sometimes, that's the case. I mean, if you take a look at maybe a guy like Tobe Awaka, okay, he came from Tennessee. And so I just think the transition for him was a lot easier. But then Anthony, again, coming from a smaller school, moving up to a much better division, et cetera, it's just taken him a while, I think, to understand the level of play here in the Big 12. And he has. And that's the important thing. And every time I ask Tommy about what he wants to see his team do better, he says, well, everything. We need to keep improving. That's always the key. And so Anthony's a perfect example of a guy who has just continued to get better. Sometimes it's in small increments, but still, he's getting better. Offensively, I can't remember where we were. It was one of our recent road games, and Tommy, during practice, was telling Anthony, he says, catch and shoot. He just kept telling him catch and shoot because that's, his strength on the offensive end. But like you said, he's now learning that, he doesn't have to just take them from outside the arc, that he can be effective inside. So at Baylor, he took 9 shots. 5 of them, if I remember right, were threes. So that means he was 4 of 5 from twos. I'm just guessing here, but so that's it. That's a great example again of him finding other ways to score.
All right, it is the Wildcats and the BYU Cougars coming up on Saturday night. The Tommy Lloyd Show tonight, Union Public House. Brian will be on the road up there, 5 o'clock with B and the coach. He'll answer all your questions if you have any. Brian, appreciate your time, and enjoy the show up there tonight. You guys sticking around to watch the hockey game?
We'll watch it. Well, we've got live music every Thursday when we're done, and so we stick around for the band, do a little dancing, and that sort of thing. But
there you go.
They'll have hockey on inside, so we'll check that out.
All right, Brian Jeffries. Brian, thank you so much.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Wildcats, and he is your Arizona Insider. Brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light. An official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light. Choose chill. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s, and I think she's got something coming up for you in about 15 minutes or so, so stay tuned for that as well.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Grant Road and Alvernon Way, roadwork and a stalled vehicle at Alvernon and Grant, some slowing at the intersection. Collisions Grant Road and Oracle, and also Houghton and Old Spanish Trail. 47 the overnight low, sunny, 76 tomorrow, and a 76 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery.
When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big, but there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
It's the $10,000 quiz show. Okay, contestants, these are things that save you money. Ready? Here we go. It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
Tobacco Barn.
You pay no city or state sales tax because they're on
the Indian Reservation.
And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at
TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Excellent. Now for the big savings. At Tobacco Barn, you'll save up to
40% off?
And because they're on the reservation, you pay no
city or state sales tax.
And at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, you get
a coupon up to $3 off?
What you are if you waste your money shopping somewhere else.
Crazy?
Nuts.
Stupid?
A few tacos short of a combo plate?
Whoa! Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most watched savings show. Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check your local listings or TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's cold outside and you need safe, reliable heat for you and your family. For a limited time, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering a free furnace with the purchase of a qualifying HVAC split system. For fast, reliable service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or PicturoxCooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down!
Oh yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business.
Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it. And will beat any print quote.
Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs.
No problem.
I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens.
Totally.
I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing.
I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Cameron Wolf with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Eagles promoted passing game coordinator Kevin Petullo to offensive coordinator, replacing Kellen Moore, who left to become the Saints head coach. And the NFL has announced the projected salary cap for the 2025 season, which is expected to range from $277.5 million to $281.5 million. The cap has increased by more than $53 million in the last 2 years. Chris Godwin and the Bucs have agreed to adjust his current contract, giving both sides more time to negotiate a new deal ahead of the March 12th deadline. If no new deal is reached by that date, Godwin would become an unrestricted free agent. And the NFL is headed back to Brazil in 2025, announcing the LA Chargers will be the designated team to play Week 1 of the regular season in Sao Paulo. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, I'm not getting anything yet from people about where they're watching this hockey tonight. I want to know, where are you watching the hockey?
I mean, if you had a
Especially
choice,
if you're Canadian. If you're the Canadian, I want to know where's the Canadian fan club at?
If you had a choice of dancing with Brian Jeffries or watching hockey, what would you choose?
I think I would. I like Brian, but I think I would choose watching hockey with the Canadians before dancing.
You're not gonna dance with Brian on the live music.
No, sorry, no, that's not gonna happen. Yeah. United States versus Canada. Well, this and that's another reason. Like, I know there's talk in this current administration about making Canada the 51st state. But if you do that, then we don't get events like this, right? Unless everybody's going to just play for their own state. Like, okay, so it's going to be the 51st state against the rest of the United States? Is that how that would work? If they made Canada the 51st state?
How would you do, like, the Olympics?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It wouldn't be fair, would
it?
it?
It wouldn't be fair to everybody else because all those talented...
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what's the young lady that ran here? Oh, gosh. She would be on our team now. The Canadian hurdler that ran for Fred Harvey here. Oh, gosh. I can't remember her name. Just that quick. I forgot her name. Yeah, but she and all her talented compadres, whatever they call themselves, Canucks, would be on our team. So that would make our track teams better. Sage Watson. Thank you. Sage Watson.
So many names.
I would take. But yeah, it's for stuff like this. Oh my God, we would ruin hockey. This is the new event. We can't be ruining the best event that's happened to hockey in forever. I mean, in fact, let's get into our BetMGM top.
Wait, really quick.
Play.
Would there be a fight in the locker room before?
Oh God,
the game. Is the question.
Oh. I would imagine there would have to be.
All right, this BetMGM top play is brought to you locally by Oral Ford at 3950 West Highway 77 in Oracle.
All-Star Weekend is officially in the books, and it's time to win some bets. I'm Lucy Burge, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. The Clippers head to Milwaukee, and I'm looking at over 225.5 points. LA has scored at least 120 points in 3 straight contests and can match Milwaukee's production now that Kawhi Leonard has been given a longer leash. I'm Lucy Burge from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Flowers, chocolate, more flowers, more chocolate.
Searching for the perfect Valentine's gift? Oro Ford's got you covered. Save 10 grand off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s and new 2024 Super Duty trucks. Or get an incredible 12 grand off MSRP on new 2020 Ford Expeditions. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson for the sweetest deals all February long. Only at Oro Ford and oroford.com, where you'll always get 2% tax savings and no dealer add-ons.
Restrictions may apply. Not everyone will qualify. See Oro Ford for details.
All right, so the Clippers over the Bucks tonight. The over, I should say. The Clippers and Bucks, the over at 228. Right now over at the Desert Diamond Casino, that's sitting at minus 113. So your $12.90 bet would win you $11.48. Also, we've got a college play for you tonight, a small college, mid-major. Southeast Missouri State, minus 10.5 over Western Illinois at minus 114, so you'd get $11.35 back on your $12.90 bet.
Did you hear what the Clippers did a couple weeks back?
I did not.
They signed a guy named Ben Simmons, previous number 1 draft pick, who had some struggles at laying the ball up when he was directly under the rim and unguarded, and obviously some health issues as well. But yeah, in case you didn't know, Ben Simmons now plays point guard for the LA Clippers.
Wow. There was rumors on where he might go, but he goes out to Los Angeles to play for the Clippers. I want to get back to this Four Nations thing because there's a lot of money coming in on this. The sports books across the United States are reporting that Four Nations games thus far have outperformed average regular season NHL contests. In fact, DraftKings says that its 4 most bet hockey games of the season have been from this tournament, the Four Nations, while FanDuel says that Four Nations contests are averaging over 6 times as many bets as average NHL games this regular season. So this is a heavily bet game tonight. In fact, I'm going to pull it up here on, I did not look at this prior hand, so I'm going to look at it now and see if we have a line from our friends over at the Desert Diamond Casino. And, of course, they're not giving me one, so I don't know if we do or not.
Dragon Ball's our resident hockey expert. Why do you think that the Four Nations tournament is 5 times more bet than the average NHL game?
I would say just because it has that national appeal, like you're betting for your country and things like. And to be fair, again, I'm gonna base this completely on the fact that it was a isolated incident at the Bell Center in Montreal, but the fact that it was the anthems were booed prior to the puck dropping for the U.S. that added a little bit of we got some animosity here. Okay, now we're a little bit more intrigued. Animosity breeds interest. That is the one thing in sports that will forever be universal. If there's bad blood involved, more people will watch.
Is that why Dylan Brooks has such high ratings?
Yes. Okay. That is exactly why Dylan Brooks has the high ratings he does.
All right, so Canada is favored on the money line at minus 113. USA is at minus 108. The puck line is Canada minus 1 at plus 150. USA plus 1 at minus 186. Over under is 5.5 goals. Over at plus 108 and the under at minus 130. I'm shocked that the BetMGM folks did not give us any plays on this historic event here tonight, but they did not. That is your BetMGM Network top play of the day, and yes, Fred, easy, Fred. It is brought to you by Oro Ford at 3950 West Highway 77 in Oracle. All right, Cricket is back with us now. Cricket, do you have any Canadian friends?
Not that you're aware of? Yeah.
No? Okay, because we were wondering, because we have this big hockey game tonight between the United States and Canada. And there's a lot of Canadian folks that come down here to Southern Arizona and house during the winter months. And so I'm trying to find out where the Canadian people are watching the game tonight because I want to go watch the game with them.
Oh, yeah. That would be fun.
That would be fun. I thought it would be very fun. So what do they chant? I know we chant USA, USA, USA. What do they chant? Canada.
Maybe.
Canada.
It's got a ring to it.
It works, right? It's 3 syllables.
Can we change it from Canadian snowbirds to geese?
That is more. It's more true. It's more true.
It's succinct. I mean, that's what That's where they go.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I don't have any Canadian friends. Do you have any boat friends? Like friends that have boats?
Mike Harrelson used to have a boat. I don't know if he does anymore. I don't know if he does.
You count him as a friend?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I've known him for a long time, and he always says anybody who's got a boat, they got problems.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that? Oh, is that right?
Money pit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a money pit, huh? Oh, yeah. We had a boat friend who came out and visited us from Ohio. Well, her boyfriend is the one with the boat, and she was telling us all about like how, it was like it started up at this restaurant and it spewed all these fumes back into it was like one of those dock restaurants. Oh. And it spewed all these fumes and the people in the restaurant got mad because it was he smelled up the joint with his boat.
Oops. See what I mean? That's what
exactly.
I think that's what
those are
what they
boat
mean.
Problems.
Yeah, you got a boat?
All right.
More boat, more problems.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, Cricket doesn't have boat problems, but she's got ticket problems. They are falling out of her pocket. Crickets got tickets.
Indeed. The boys have been talking about the big hockey game tonight between the U.S. and Canada. Now, I do not have tickets for that. Sorry.
No.
But
Wait. Could we get anybody to TD Gardens in an hour in 25 minutes to see the game?
I don't think you can
Cricket
fly
did have tickets
to Boston.
What's that jet that flew
the F-35?
Is the Concorde still around?
The Raptor, the F-16.
No, the Concorde stopped flying like 20 years ago.
Could the A-10 get to the East Coast in an hour?
A-10 is very slow.
No, they're only like 400 miles an hour.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty slow.
So we need how fast of a jet would we need?
Like a stealth,
1,000?
like a stealth bomber.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah,
it's something really fast.
I don't think
A-10s are too slow.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right.
I mean, there's a place in town that makes missiles or rockets, so maybe.
Raytheon. Call the folks at Raytheon.
Let's call them up, man.
And see if they can get something on the runway to get you to Boston in an hour to get to the game.
Yes, but instead of tickets for the big hockey game tonight, I do have tickets for the Tucson Roadrunners on Sunday.
Okay.
It's a little fun day Sunday. It's day hockey at the TCC, 4 o'clock face-off between the Roadrunners and Abbotsford. So let's take caller 2 right now at 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Second caller gets a pair of tickets to see Tucson and Abbotsford this Sunday afternoon down at the arena as the Runners, they try to begin a climb back up to the top of the Pacific Division of the American Hockey League.
There we go.
Good luck.
I think they're in 7th place right now, so they need to start climbing pretty quick.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
It could have stranger things have happened.
Yeah, well,
maybe.
I was hoping for tickets to send somebody to Boston, but guess not. You're going to have to watch it on TV and let me know where you're watching at. Tell me where you're watching the game. 520-848-1290. I want to come out and watch the game with the Canadians tonight.
Do they play it at Trident? Trident plays so many different games.
I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I could go down. I mean, it's right down the street from me, so I could go to Trident too. I'm sure they're going to be showing it there.
The real question, Cricket, is we just had Mr. Brian Jeffries on, and he said that there's live music, and he's going to be dancing after his show, and that's the question. Watch the hockey game or dance with Brian Jeffries.
I got to see that.
There you go.
Oh, we love Brian.
You can go dance with Brian Jeffries.
Heck yeah.
There you go. All right, Cricket's got tickets. She's also got the traffic.
I do. From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported 1st Avenue and Grant Road, Silver Lake, west of I-10. Grant and Alvernon collision there, and also road work as well. Expect slowing Grant and Alvernon, and also busy traffic area intersection of Irvington and 6th Avenue due to the Tucson Rodeo. 47 the overnight low, sunny 76 tomorrow and 73 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery.
When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big, but there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson. your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
If you're listening to sports,
if you're looking for an edge rusher, looking for a run stuffer, you're looking for a big-time player in the middle of your defense, you're in luck.
Mixed with pop culture, sprinkled with celebrity interviews.
You hated the title Everybody Loves Raymond.
That's true.
Is it appropriate for you to tell people to hurry it up?
It's appropriate on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Bill Burr is here.
I want to know who you defeated to get that title as best dad ever.
I'm the Gonzaga of dads.
And you're enjoying the Rich Eisen Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Marco Polo.
Hoping to find new customers online can feel like playing Marco Polo in the dark.
Plumber.
Right here.
Plumber.
Right here.
Let Cumulus Boost help spotlight your business. Boost your website. Boost your findability. Boost your reputation. Boost your business. Get a boost. Get found. Get on the map. Contact us today at cumulusboost.com.
Great. Thanks, William. Good meeting.
What about me?
Who said that?
Me.
Gary, I can hear you, but...
Where are you?
Guys, I'm right here. You can't see me because I'm being transparent.
You're being transparent?
Yep, and we should do it company-wide. Starting with how much it costs to get a Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
This is freaking me out.
Other places don't put payments on their websites. Know why?
Too much trouble?
Embarrassed?
They want to get in your house and twist your arm?
Could be any of those. Could be none of them. But like polar bear fur, we're transparent.
So people can go to AlaskanAC.com and get an instant payment?
You got it. Now you're being transparent.
Hey, I'm fading away.
I like it. Nothing hidden. Just an honest instant payment on their new Grizzly from AlaskanAC.com. Whoa, now I'm becoming transparent.
Doesn't it feel good?
We're all transparent.
And good thing, that shirt Ron was wearing was ugly.
I'm still here. Get a transparent payment on a new Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. The Cleveland Browns will eventually trade Myles Garrett. 5 potential destinations should be the Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, Detroit Lions, and Washington Commanders. And I expect the Commanders already have the face of their offense, Jaden Daniels, to be the most aggressive in the pursuit of the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year, so they can not only find the face of their defense, but also add the finishing touches to the refreshing new version of Josh Harris's Washington Commanders. I'm Zach Gelb.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan.
It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Oh, my camera just went very large on me here. See if I can zoom myself out a little bit. I don't want to scare the people with my face being so close to them. If you're watching on one of our many streaming platforms, we stream this show on Facebook Live. We're also on YouTube, Twitch, no Instagram Live today. We're going to be at the rodeo tomorrow. I've not even talked about that. We will be at the rodeo tomorrow from 3 to 6. Full show tomorrow. Back at the La Fiesta de los Vaqueros Tucson Rodeo. The parade was today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we watched it.
You watched it? How was it?
Well, I mean, my significant other's a teacher, and Thursday and Friday of this week, they do not have school. Yeah. So, yeah, we sat and watched a bit of it this morning. Shout out to a promo department. They're out there today as well. Big turnout. It was the 100th.
Yeah,
so
100 years.
Yeah.
100 years of the Tucson Rodeo. So we'll be out there tomorrow. Stop by and join us. We'll have a bunch of interviews with the various participants and folks around the event. So looking forward to being out at the rodeo grounds tomorrow for another exciting event. Last night, Arizona basketball ladies knocked off BYU at McHale Center. Wildcats took control of this game in the first quarter with a 10-zip run.
Williams, dangerous pass into the high post, nearly taken away by Gibb. Instead, Knežević is able to penetrate, kick it out. Swan, corner threes up and down. Swan off the bench with her first triple. Handed off Williams, ball fake, step right, go left, step back. Three is on the way, and down. Back up top, Knežević wants to go back to the right side of the lane. This time, Brea's got the finish. She now uses Cunningham to get toward the foul line. Drops this one off on the roll. Gillespie nearly with the steal, but Brea's too strong.
So the Wildcat ladies opening up a 10-point lead at the end of the first period on BYU. They would lengthen that lead in the second quarter.
Up and down now with Gibb in front. Goes to the mid-post left side. Cunningham back up top. Knežević has a three up and down. Go to the corner on the far side, Paris, and now Bay has it at the wing. Thinks about it, puts a three up and down. Isis has 9, the lead's again 17.
And you know you're in trouble when Isis Bay is shooting three-pointers. She would play 31 minutes and score 14 points. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals last night for Isis Bay. Wildcats in control of this game at the half as they would hold BYU to 7 points in that first quarter. Arizona was up 37-21 at the end of the half.
Better.
I can do anything better than you.
Yeah, I thought that BYU having 7 in that first was crazy.
Yeah. Until the third quarter, where the Wildcats would score just 6 points.
Loses the dribble. Diving on that one momentarily is Williams, but Gibbs able to get it back and establish the dribble before she stood up. Now uses a Gillespie screen to go from the right, back to the left. 3 on the way from Congdon. It's up and in. 40 seconds left as Congdon run off the three-point line by Williams. Goes back outside to Gillespie. Now to a cutting Whiting as she's off the glass and scores, and it's just a 7-point game.
Amari Whiting, 14 points for BYU. Delaney Gibb had 6. They cut it down to 7. It got as low as 4 points in the fourth quarter before the Wildcats would put it to bed.
Jones, who has yet to attempt a shot, gets to the baseline. Back outside Williams from Cunningham. Puts up a 3 and it's down. Oh boy, did they need it. Back up top, Bray. Fire a pass to the baseline. We're up and underneath the bucket. Schuyler's able to get the catch and finish. Arizona is 5 of 14 from the three-point line, but just 1 for 7 here. The Swan is going to answer that. As she's got one up and good. Both 3 balls go up and in the second half in the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. 7 seconds left. Whiting trying to get to the three-point line. Gets over the stripe. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and they're not going to get a shot off. Wildcats make it interesting. Had a 19-point lead trimmed to 4. As Arizona gets the first of 4 desperately needed wins, 65-57.
Isis Bay, 14 points to lead the Wildcats. 13 for Skylar Jones, coming off her 30-point performance against TCU. Jada Williams had 12. Brea Cunningham had 11. Wildcats made 6 of 16 three-point shots as they knock off BYU 65-57 to complete the sweep of the Cougars. But afterward, and this is your Desert Diamond Casino replay for today. Desert Diamond Casino is Arizona's best bet. Brea Cunningham, Skylar Jones, talking about that third quarter drought in which the Wildcats managed just 6 points.
Just our third quarter lull. You know, we had that all season. I don't know what it is. To be honest. But I'm glad that we was able to pick ourselves back out of it, though, and we wasn't stuck in it in the fourth quarter. So.
I mean, both times they've kind of come back on you guys that way. What is it about them, I mean, that they give you that trouble after you get those big leads?
They're a good shooting team, so if we lose a couple people on defense, a couple transition threes, then they're right back in the game. So I think us losing, not being as aggressive on defense that third quarter and losing a couple people in transition was able for them to cut down the lead and then get that confidence. So, you know.
Brea, you had no fouls at halftime. What were you seeing, and how are you? How do you feel like you were defending better to stay out of that foul trouble?
I don't know. I think the only thing that I was conscious of on defense was keeping my hands up. I don't feel like I changed anything else on defense. I was still aggressive on defense with her. I feel like playing sometimes a real two bigs, they kind of let us play a little bit more. So it was just a matter of me keeping my hands up and not reaching and stuff like that. So
your first Big 12 sweep. So you beat BYU there and BYU here. That's a big deal. How does that feel like to keep you guys motivated and moving into that tournament?
Good, because our coach said that today starts a new season. So for our hopes for the postseason, so that's really what we're thinking about. So it's good that we got to start with a sweep in our first time in the new conference. So that's good.
What do you guys see about? I mean, Kat's played 20 minutes the last 3 games. What are you guys seeing from her as teammates as she's gone on this year?
Kat's grown a lot. She's didn't really play much in the beginning, but she's worked hard all season in practice. It's just a matter of getting her confident, getting her kind of used to the flow of the game because it's the first time she's played that long this season. So, but she's a good aggressive defender, but we gotta teach her for freshman things. It's just a normal freshman season for her. So, yeah.
Jada Williams is back tonight. How did that feel having her back at the point?
The guard's great. Oh my God, we were so tired last game. It was great having her and Maylene back, and I'm just glad that they're back and they're healthy.
All right, that is the ladies, Brea Cunningham and Skylar Jones after the game last night. That is your Desert Diamond Casino replay, brought to you by the Desert Diamond Casino. It is Arizona's best bet. Let's hear a little bit of what Adia Barnes had to say about the sweep of the BYU Cougars.
It's our first sweep. That's funny. I was like, that's a good thing. I think just meeting them for the first time right before Christmas, that's always a hard game away. Then taking care of it at home, I think that's an area of growth for us. But our second half was really, I thought, wasn't that well. But I wanted to celebrate the win and not be, because wins are hard to come by, and we know teams are going to make runs, but just our second half attention to detail at certain times for long periods, it has to get better.
It seemed like there's some key moments in that second half. The turnovers had a bigger impact. So, I mean, what do you think was happening? Were they just lack of paying attention, or?
Well, the first thing, so Amari Whiting, her mom's the coach. She's the coach's daughter. She has like really long arms, and she's a really good defender. So she was able to put a lot of pressure on us, and it was hard for us to get the ball to the free throw line extended. And that's what we make our guards do, to have good passing angles. And it was really hard against her. Jada had turned the ball over a couple times on top. We don't usually turn the ball over in live action like we did today. So credit to her. She defended us really, really well. And we kind of knew that. So later on, it made us run things where it kind of got them, it made them not hold the ball so long. So stuff that got rid of it, but she made us do that. I think also second half, we really lost Gib. We were going under on different screening actions against a shooter. She's too good. She's a tremendous shooter. You cannot go under on screening actions, and we continue to do that. So just the lack of discipline, I think, and our youth shows up in those stressful times, because it's not one guard that does it. Sky does it, Mylene does it, Paulina does it, Lauren does it. It's just the habits and the attention to detail in moments is not good, and that's just a youth thing. But that's not we have to get better in those areas.
Both of these games, you guys jumped out to a big lead on them and then let them come back. And it was Gibb and both who came on later.
Yeah, I think, just when we have a cushion at halftime, I think the part of us getting to that next level and being a tournament team is being able to put people away and keep the pedal to the metal when we have momentum going into halftime. But the momentum started with the mistake, the overhelp at the end of the second quarter that led to a 3. So then you go into halftime, they have momentum. So those are the little things. So then you have to be really on point the first couple minutes in the second half, and then we weren't. So those are the areas we have to grow in and get better at. And then at times when we're getting stops, we couldn't score. Or we're scoring and we're not getting stops. So I think just finding that combination at times that can kind of stop the bleeding and that can give us a spark when one group isn't doing well. And I think that's been kind of the challenge. And we're still looking for that group to do that. It can go on both ends. Instead of one defensive group can't score, one offensive group can't defend. So that's what I'm challenging the players with.
All right, that was Adia Barnes after the win last night. Now, here's the good news. The game next up is Houston, at Houston on Saturday. Houston has won one game in the Big 12. They are 1 and, I believe, 14 in conference play. Right now, the Wildcats are sitting in the number 9 spot in conference play. So at the tournament, 9 will play 16 in the opening round. So Arizona, if the tournament started today, would play Houston in the tournament. So we may be seeing the Houston Cougars a lot coming up in the next few weeks. Got to go down and get that win, because I remember Arizona Soccer went down and played a 0-7 Houston team and lost. So you don't want that to happen on the basketball side. All right, that is going to wrap up our show for today. Reminder, we'll be out at the rodeo tomorrow. Thanks to Brian Jeffries. Thanks to Luis Pablo Navarro for cricket, for J-Dub, for Dragon Ball. My name is David Kelly. That's our time tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Brian Jeffries and Tommy Lloyd's show coming up next right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported at First Avenue and Grant Road, Silver Lake west of I-10, Grant and Alvernon collision and road work at that intersection, some slowing, and also slowdowns near the Tucson Rodeo Ground, Irvington and 6th Avenue for westbound and northbound travel. 47 the overnight low, sunny, 76 tomorrow, and 74 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma.